right at the screen, so that's not good. Let me move this a little bit.
What my table? It's mine now. Yeah.
Yes, hi. Welcome to the meeting. So today we're just going to be talking about some competitions, just to get you a quick introduction to what the team is like, what the competitions we're going through, and some of the decisions that we're looking to fill. Yeah, so let's start with.
Whoa.
Our faculty sponsor, Dr.
Are you replacing him?
So I guess we didn't really tell Dr. Najafai to show up because scheduling is really bad. So this is Dr. Farshid Najafai. He's our faculty sponsor. This is his office. You can harass him if you want.
Yeah.
Remember that. Say Edison sent us.
He has a lot of experience with robotics competitions. So if you have any questions, do feel free to go and ask. Okay. Okay, everything's just bugged out.
Health executives, be an Edison.
Yeah. Hi.
We need more people want to be an executive.
Yeah.
You'll find us in the Discord.
And God, this is so bugged out.
Just look at it. Just look at the screen.
Competition team leads is again me, Edison,
And Amanda here is the Betsu team lead. So if you have any questions regarding the competitions, ask us on Discord.
Do profile. No, I feel good.
you didn't uncover me.
Yeah. So we're doing two competitions.
Where's the actual pictures of the person? They're gonna see view profile.
Yeah. Well, you'll understand what it means in a minute. We're also looking for some club administration people. So we basically right now us three, it's kind of hard for us to really deal with the financing, sponsors, outreach, everything. It's a university. It's a scheduling is going to be.
If you have any dedicated business friends, feel free to tell them about us.
There's no such thing as dedicated.
I know, that's the thing. We are very desperate, as you can tell. All right, so let's start with the competitions now. Okay, so two competitions. You have VexU Robomaster, quite straightforward here. And let's go for a brief introduction.
How many of you are familiar with VEX competition? Okay. VEX competition, basically you work in a team to build a small robot with some restrictions like height and width and the amount you can stretch. And every year they have a different theme for the competitions. So every year you have to build a new robot. Each match there will be 2 minutes. First, for VexU, there will be 45 seconds in the beginning for autonomous robot moving. So the robot will have to program it to do some tasks to get as most points as possible, so that you can earn bonus points in the match. And then the rest of the match will just be controlled by human. So we have 2 robots and 2 teams. Each robot will have a team of builders and a team of software. And they will work together to get the robot going.
And the game is a 2v2 game, so your 2 robots want to help each other out to compete.
Right. I think we have
a question here. So you're gonna make 2 robots identical to each other? Or?
They do not have to be identical. In some games, okay, so VexU is a bit special. They normally make you make a, I think 18 by 18 by 18.
Yeah, a large bot and a smaller bot.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a smaller one, which is 15 by 15 by 15. But if they give you 2 18 by 18 by 18, then you can technically make 2 of the same ones, but you don't have to.
Yeah. There's also different tasks in the game, so maybe one of the robots is better at doing a specific task than the other, and then they play off each other.
Yeah.
So in the VexU, you will it's more beginner friendly compared to Robomaster, which we are going to mention after. So it's beginner friendly because you don't have to look for the controllers and you don't have to make expensive prototypes and machining. So for this, the brain is already ready, so you just program onto the brain. You don't have to find controllers and things for that. So it's more beginner friendly, and also you will be prototyping, building, and programming, as we said before, and this is more recommended for new members and also experienced members. So,
Next slide. Oh god. Okay, it's actually just flash. Okay, now it's gone. So
thank you for this year's.
Welcome to the 2023-2024 VEX Robotics Competition season and this year's game, VRC Over Under. Over Under is a head-to-head game played by two alliances, one red and one blue, made up of two teams each. The primary game objects in VRC Over Under are plastic acorn-shaped tri-balls with a primary dimension of just over 6 inches. There are 60 tri-balls total in an over-under match, 1 preload per robot, 12 on the field, and 22 match loads per alliance. There are 2 netted goals on opposite sides of the field. A 3-inch PVC barrier divides the field into a red offensive zone and a blue offensive zone. Each tri-ball scored in a goal is worth 5 points, and each tri-ball which makes it into an offensive zone is worth 2 points. Robots can pick up additional tri-balls from the field or retrieve them from match load zones that are in the far corners of the field. However, robots may only possess 1 tri-ball at a time. Matches begin with a 15-second autonomous period, where robots operate without input from their drivers. During the autonomous period, alliances must keep 1 robot in their offensive zone and 1 robot in their opponent's offensive zone. Robots begin with 1 alliance-colored tri-ball as a preload. This alliance tri-ball always counts towards the same color alliance as the tri-ball, regardless of where it is scored. The alliance who scores the most points during the autonomous period will earn a bonus of 8 points. Alliances may also earn an additional autonomous win point by completing certain tasks during the autonomous period. The 1-minute 45-second driver control period begins once the autonomous bonus winner has been determined. During the driver control period, robots are free to move about the field. However, if an alliance ever finds itself with 2 robots in the same offensive zone, this is called double zoning. While double zoning, tri-balls that are scored in an alliance's goal are no longer protected from opponent robots. The VRC over-under field also includes 2 sets of alliance-specific pipes on either side of the barrier. These are called elevation bars and are used at the end of the match for elevating robots. At the end of the match, each robot's height off the ground will be measured to determine their elevation tier. Elevation points will then be awarded based on each robot's tier relative to all other robots. For example, getting to Tier E could be worth as many as 20 points or as few as 5. Elevation tiers begin at the floor and they end above the elevation bar. VRC Over-Under can also be played in skills challenges, where one team competes against the clock, and the collegiate level VEX-U competition, where teams design 2 robots using advanced materials. Check out the game manual or talk to your REC Foundation Team Engagement Manager for all the details. Official rules and game information for VRC.
Like you'll see about this, like it changed during May, so it will be different. Like that's why it's always fresh.
You guys have any idea what was it like last year?
Last year
was this. I think.
Yeah, we had like little frisbees that we were supposed to shoot in.
Yeah.
Am I the only one in here that has no robotics competition experience?
What's wrong with that? Just nothing.
I don't think. No, there are people.
There probably is. There's probably some other people.
Yeah, no, yes,
So you're the only one who came. The other one's just that bothered.
It's actually not that bad. You're gonna hang up this.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was the VEX U competition video or introduction video, and why is that playing
Welcome
again?
to the
God,
Okay.
We had like 6 people who accept the club submission, so hopefully we have more people.
Yeah. All right. So should I do the yeah. So I'll introduce the RoboMaster competition. So what we'll be doing this year is the RoboMaster University League. There's another division called RoboMaster University Championship, which is the 7 versus 7 division. This is the 3 versus 3 version. So because we do have like some funding constraints for this year, so it's going to be in America, so we don't have to travel all the way to China to compete. But it's still either going to be like Seattle or somewhere else. So hopefully it's in Seattle. So there is a minimum robot build, like as you can see, like. Or like as you can see, I guess if you like keep a little bit late. There are 3 robots per team, but the minimum you need is 2. So if you don't build 2 robots, you're technically not allowed to play the game. And you have 1 driver per robot, and then the sentry, like we have also like the 3rd robot that's fully autonomous. You are not allowed to have a driver for that. But other than that, the other 2 robots, you are going to have a driver that basically on the computer, like controlling like an FPS shooter game. The match time for this game is 5 minutes, and there is no like basically there's no hardware limitation. Just go wild. You can't like use anything that you want. But there is a chassis power limit, and if you go over this limit, it just kills you. Like in the system. In game, not in real life.
Just gun point to your head.
Alright. So this is a 2021 competition video. It's very similar, and I couldn't find anything else on the YouTube, so this is the one they used. Just know that the sentry is now like a fully autonomous robot on the ground. It's no longer on the rail, it's just on the ground, and it shoots you, and it's terrifying. Okay.
Unless
Like the robot or you?
Welcome to RoboMaster 2021 University League competition. There are 3 different robots on each team: Hero, Standard, and Sentry. Teams must begin from their starting zone. With each robot operating in first-person view, teams navigate a rune-filled battlefield, find and launch projectiles at the opponent until they are eliminated. The robots are equipped with an armor system that detects projectile hit data, resulting in lowered health points when triggered. Robots are destroyed if their health points reach 0. After a period of cooldown time, the destroyed robot will resurge and gain a protective shell for 10 seconds. As the only fully automated robot on the battlefield, the Sentry can detect enemies' defense capabilities and shoot them. If the Sentry is destroyed, then the team it belongs to loses its first line of defense. The team that destroys the enemy's base first is the winner. If the 5 minutes limit of the match runs out and both teams still have their bases intact, the team with the highest total HP wins.
It's basically real faster in a nutshell.
Enemy cancel.
So we should make a mouse control guide. Click to move.
Shush. Alright, so a few very special, like, very, unfortunate points. This game is, like, very, very technical.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like robotics competition technical, I'm talking like it's kind of like co-op technical. So don't expect to know a lot, even if you have a lot of robotics experience, because go on.
Yeah, it's not robotics.
Yeah, it's fine. Like even if you don't know anything, we will host a workshop starting next Tuesday. We have it.
The day after.
Who's teaching the workshops?
Alright, so you have to CAD basically because it's not likely that you can like
Okay.
drill like carbon
You also don't
fiber.
have enough materials to like
That's
switch
what
it
he
up more time to
That's what he did.
Yeah. God, I love sauce.
And prototyping is relatively slow. Like a 3-print, like you need to know how to use a 3-print. You need to know how to use you don't really need to know how to use a CNC, but you need to know how to design to use a CNC. And yeah, typically comparable to technical co-ops. If you have like one co-op, you'll know what to expect. Hopefully you'll have fun. And you will not be depressed.
All engineers are. Let's go. Okay, come on. Yeah, we already know that.
Yeah, so another big part of this competition is camera vision. So you might have like the fully autonomous, like they call it the Sentry. Basically, it's just a another infantry robot, but it has like no driver. So the way that they do it is they use camera vision to detect the armor plates, like those over here, and there's another one there. And then they detect those, they auto aim onto it, and then they shoot them. Yeah, so that's really all camera vision is in this competition. And yeah, it's not really recommended for new members, but I am not going to stop you if you want to.
It'll be fun.
So the Sentry is autonomous, are robots autonomous as well? Or
The robots can be controlled. If you want to make it autonomous, you are masochistic, but it's fine.
So
Yeah, it's like what has to be, the other two doesn't have to be. Alright.
so what can we make it on?
exactly.
What if we just suck it
So let's start with the construction.
Actually,
For VexU, we only have 2 robots. So the plan is we want to have people who work on the mechanical side and software side. So mechanical side, you'll be designing. You could like design the entire structure of the robot before actually building it, or you can design some custom pieces to put on the robot itself. And also you'll be prototyping and building the robot. But for the control side, you will be coding for the autonomous parts, and you will also be coding for the controls and the sensor involved in the robot. In the future, we might work with programming with GPS, because during the autonomous part, it helps the robot know where it is and do the movements more accurately. And we could also, in the future, do AI, where you will program the robot to do everything on its own. The competition. So same stuff. So we'll be building the mechanical stuff for mechanical.
Positioned open to anyone really.
Is there a size limit to it? 18 inch by 18 inch by 18 inch.
I think every year it might change because
There's
they
an
might want
expansion
to.
that changes every year.
Yeah. And also, they might give you like 2 large robots or one large, one small.
That's not
It's a bit odd.
No, Robomaster.
No, RoboMaster is set. Do you want the size of it? Like, just go. Alright.
go to try on the other hand.
You want to do this? Okay. So for RoboMaster, we pretty much have the exact same queue for mechanical and control. Except for control, you do have PCB design, and electrical is actually moved from mechanical to the control. You're gonna do all 3.
Shit.
Okay, so we actually moved electrical from mechanical to control because electrical is actually another it's a bigger part in the control thing than VexU, because VexU is more mechanical. And we also have a third group. They just handle the algorithms for camera vision, and additionally they might handle stuff like position I don't know how they make robot know where it is.
Triangulation, I guess.
Yeah, but positioning. Yeah, and then because the autonomous robot needs to know where it is, and then know how it's going around. So routing is also going to be in this thing. So this thing is just working with software, and they control is also working with software, but it's directly controlling them.
And keep in mind that you can't be in both of them if you want to.
You can be all 3.
Yeah.
Or both levels to
if you hate yourself.
Sure. Actually.
And this is a more in-depth version. So for mechanical, you'll need to work on the basically designing and prototyping. So we'll teach you how to use SolidWorks if you haven't already. Well, he will. It's a very intense workload at the start because we do want to get the robots done as soon as possible, and then it's supposed to gradually ramp down as we just start making iterations or designs, because we want a robot for the control team to start working with, and the camera vision team to start working with. So that's why we need to just get it done within first 2 or 3 months. Afterwards, you just kind of talk with the control team, talk with the camera vision team, and see if you have any improvements that they would suggest, and just iterate on it. And so that will be less of a workload. You do need to communicate with the control team to know what's possible, and unless you don't want something that's impossible to control to just screw them over. You need to you know do CAD mostly. CAD is mostly going to be on SolidWorks, but Fusion 360 is also okay. We'll teach you how to use a 3D printer, and you need to design for manufacturing. We're just designing for with what we have. It's going to be designing for 3D printing and a CNC machine. We'll also hold like record workshops. It's kind of like this one, but it's like actually technical, and we plan on doing it this weekly. So we'll see how that goes. Still flashing. On the control side, yeah. So you have like the way that we do like programming for Roadmaster. It's not like we have a brain, like Lexi. Lexi, you have a brain. You can like just plug it in. It's quite easy. But like you need to plug it into a USB drive, and then you plug the USB drive onto like your PCB, which is very annoying. You don't technically have to draw your own PCBs, but sometimes you are required to do that. But yeah, that's not going to be something that we train everyone to do. Hopefully, unless we need to. They will take care of most electrical work. So ideally, the only thing that the mechanical team needs to do is to like leave holes for wires to go through, and plug them in. Yeah. We'll teach you how to do XM32 programming. We'll also teach you how Canvas, PO, and UART works. And so those those communication protocols are going to be kind of conceptual at times, so it'll make sense as you like actually start applying them. And this team will have to communicate with folks in mechanical and camera vision, because camera vision needs to do auto aim with you, and mechanical needs to like build the robot. And also we will host record workshops. And the CV team. There's programming related, but it's going to be very different. While the control team is mostly going to be using C, this one, like, you can either use Python or C++ on here. And part of the purpose of this team is to like just figure out how the camera vision works, because no one has done it yet. Like in our team, I do not know how to do that, so let's see how it works. So like the goal is to like detect where the armor plates are and like aim at it. The 3 ways that we can go about this: we can use RGB filtering, which is just like getting a camera and then like, okay, take a picture of this. That seat is red, so that is the armor plate. Or like you can use machine learning, which is like drawing the boxes. You've probably seen that at some point in your life. And you can like add them together, which is like another way. It's going to be pretty difficult, I would say. You will need close communication with the control team, because you do want to do the auto aiming, and like even if you're doing routing, that's still going to be implemented by the control team. And we can't really host workshops here yet, so we'll just host meetings to hopefully discuss how that works out. Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
I know what I'm doing.
I hope this team works.
Yeah, it's like,
Well,
I hope that's the entire part of the
Does
team.
anyone have experience with camera vision at all?
Not
That's the point.
Yay.
That's like, I've only done this so with the first like.
I guess is really the only one that has like throw mastery.
I have not done
He has
that.
made a robot before and said,
Well, I know TensorFlow, but TensorFlow is not really used.
yeah,
It's literally game.
pay to win, actually.
Okay.
Actually, I've heard.
You want to use
Alright.
And
So-
Teamwork Access, for those interested in like joining any of the competitions, we'll be having most of our workshops either in this room or that room over there. We'll be doing more physical stuff with like the robots and everything. That's where we'll be keeping stuff. And we need like everyone needs access to those rooms that want to join. So you guys have to react to the role in Discord to like which role you guys want to be in. And then the next workshop meeting when you guys come, I'll have a sign up sheet for the room. And for people who want to be detectives, they get a key to the room. So just like talk to me if you guys want to be in executive role or anything.
Right. Why am I still on the? Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I just have one. What is the role of the executive?
Pardon?
What is the role of an executive?
There's going to be a lot of different executive roles, whether it's like a team lead for software engineering in like any role master's or next to you, or it's like hardware mechanical. And there's also probably going to be some other executive roles outside of like robotics. If you want to do that, communications, outreach, stuff like that.
I'll probably be interested in that.
Alright, just let us know after the meeting. It's like we don't have a.
I didn't catch it.
Just talk to us after the meeting. Yeah, that's true.
So is there like a bunch of information like what I should learn, so that like outside of the club, if there's like some skills I need to learn, just to compile. Sort of thing.
I do have a lot of those, but the issue is they're all in Chinese, so I'll have to translate them one by one. So let's see how I'm going to do that.
I just will translate.
But that's only for Romaster.
We'll
Let's do
try our
this.
Discord.
Just like what I need to learn.
Yeah, like general.
We'll probably. Any more questions? Do rock paper scissors.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
For the Vex team, like what software will we be using for the coding?
So you have two choices. Two, like you have C++, right?
You guys don't know what's the
Or-
pros.
No,
No robots.
not robots.
No.
We have C, with the newer version, you have C++, and you also have Python, I believe. There's also Pros, like PROS. That's I haven't used it,
Not top
but that's also C++.
Yeah,
So it's just a library thing. It's weird. And
how long you guys been doing this for?
Pardon?
How long you guys do this for?
our
30
first meeting.
minutes?
So
30 minutes?
it was our first meeting. So
What's your experience?
me personally, or like the team?
Oh, just you.
I have like 3-4 years at Vex, 1 year at TCI, 1 year at FRC. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Didn't you bring one of those robots to the physics class as part of the final project?
Oh yeah, that's a Vex
That one
robot
was
for
like-
last
Yeah,
year.
that was Jamie one.
was
I'm sorry, I gotta say that. That was horrible.
What's the physics thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
that. I was like,
I still have it assembled. So.
when you won the FTC finals first year.
Oh yeah, I went with you, T-Row team. So.
What was there?
Actually, where are the captains who picked us?
Yeah, I know. You like
And you joined
didn't
us.
show up for like half the game.
Yeah, no.
Hey, I heard some them when this.
Yeah, I got touch practically.
But yeah.
Really, curse about the Chinese.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, feel free to eat some more snacks. You guys free to go. That's probably the.
Oh yeah, wait, no, there's a TJ. Yeah, so two things that you, guys, one second. Two things that we need to do. If you're interested in like either one of those competitions, not saying that you can only pick one, but you know, university, like you probably want to survive. There's a competition info channel that you can just react to on either one of those. You click the button, and now you have the role, and you can see the you can see the channels. It's like if I click Vex, I'll be able to see those 3 channels. So each one of those, like VexU has still should still have those, but also I think I got scammed by the reaction rows bot, so it's not set up. So just DM me if you want to roll there. For now, I'll try to set up. Rollmaster is set up. You just like click on those and you'll get the roll. Yeah, and I'll start pinging. Well, next workshop is going to be a general workshop where we talk about both competitions and their control systems, just to get you started. And sorry for the workshop after that, we will start talking about like very specific, like mechanical or control or CV and stuff. Well, mainly not CV. So yeah, just try to get those done, and we'll see how many people sign up. Right? Yeah.